Thanks, Scott. We have to live up to that now. Of course, I wasn't going to read any landscape poetry at all tonight. Fortunately, I thought that you might say all of that. So I decided I'd read one thing, because I've been writing some quite different stuff recently. But it is true that I'm sort of known for anything, it's for this kind of radical landscape or radical pastoral poetry. So I'm sort of going to read three little chunks of things tonight. The first one will be something I wrote quite a long time ago called Bransford Beck, Beck being a stream in the northeast of England. And I'm partly going to read this first because it's a shortish sort of landscape sequence, so give you a flavour of that sort of thing. But also because someone I knew at that time who was quite influential in my poetry life was called Big Sam and died last week, so I'm reading it for him. So it's called Bransford Beck, and it's a short sequence of lyrics without titles, so I'll just read it straight through. Rained itself out, rock grows back, turned against, pouring grows over, mud widening faster than I can run, faster than stumbled gorse pulls against, rained itself out. Breaking branch down, twig, leaf, vein, tree stands through moss, crust, compost, tread, breaking ground, fall, swaying wind, sway, tree falling down. Catching against breaking branch, thick pulling bramble, steady hand, stinging sharp leaves down, slip mud through cold, swaying flowers, deep moon trees squared like windows. Frost blows hard down valley tides, lights up white, sounds only dripping old frost leaves down. Thrilling dove takes air sound, thrilling dove takes air sound, sheep and below sheep air cry under breathing blue below branches, new night rain colour. Hiding dig low hish under river bed beck, downing up, diverting day May time, high rises over banks. Unsettling intersecting shades, wind, eyes blur, everything's just green. Only water shines prismatic, shivering, disturbed mosquito larvae, floats insidious, and these words likewise stick, drying sheep ship. Still glued Callaghan, bluebells gone, first summer flowers end. Becks drying up, wind only blows top mud. Crickets, dry thistles, butterflies. Before night resisting water, step downstream to cool beneath alder, until later. Bruised metals, elder pollen, grass dying. Hold back winter path, hacking, breaking wood on metals. Wind splits sun fall into green and green and green. Should I reach out or hold back? Could be quieter. Skies draining blue to whiter. Sleep falls slow summer. Couldn't go outside fearing grass. I'm fencing ground after outland, coming inland or under earth in wind. Huge hair sudden as pheasant thuds from tree side. Almost upright jawbone sinks slowly back. Hot swapping flies buzz. Three omens. Petals white way down, early nut pods falling. Blow away bright flies pollen. Under beck bank duck flies sun up. On the purple edge, rose bay. Hungry, warm, little-headed purple thistle, running from bees, crossing beck, piping through stone hollows again. 2 days rain. Already, elderberries. So that's a little bit of radical pastoral. Fulfill your request there. Yeah, sure. Sorry, I'm a bit quick, yeah. I can read home. That's an early sequence, and I don't think I'd write one quite like that now, because I have become more and more interested in the environmental issues that we hear so much about now. So I thought I'd sort of update that, partly thinking as well about the eco-poetics issue I've just been editing. Recently I was asked to write a poem about climate change, and I've never written a poem about anything before. And as you probably know, those of you in the avant-garde or experimental scene, you're not meant to write poems about things for commission, you know, it's really de rigueur. But I am interested in climate change anyway, so I did write this poem, and I'm also reading this because it's the only poem that I've written that has Manchester in the title. So when they asked me to write this poem, I talked to a friend of mine who works for ActionAid, and I read some of their reports, and she said, I asked her what people in Malawi were saying about the floods that they've had recently there, and she said, well, people are very fatalistic. They just say, we haven't had rain, or we've had too much rain. And I was very struck by that phrase, we haven't had rain, we've had too much rain, so I used that in this poem. And there's also an epigraph from the ActionAid report of that period. I'm a bit croaky, which I apologise, so I'll try and read fast enough to do this justice. So it's called, it was written exactly a year ago as well. So it's called Summer Solstice, Manchester, UK, 2007. This is the epigraph from the ActionAid report, which is called Climate Change and Smallholder Farmers in Malawi. Water flooded the school, the maize mill and all the houses, and the entire village took refuge in church. My house and 15 chickens were washed away. Afterwards I relocated to a neighbouring village where I constructed a temporary shelter using reed. Chipiko Kalemba is age 84. We haven't had rain, we've had too much rain. In heavy June rain, they wait under horse chestnuts' wide wings as crawls slow wheel past headlights to exhaust, headlights to exhaust, headlights, exhaust, light head, light exhaust, cramming round, 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 round water, running the other way down side gutter pavement. She took turns for the sake of it, Stockport, Wilmslow, Macclesfield, over the edge, enter, exit, clotted cloud up city, tucked straight up, children, please drive slowly. Not easy to hold the road, packed up, stay calm, town on town on town, slowly, slow down, the hospital, the shining park, light June. We haven't had rain, we've had too much rain. And there's a birth, we learned to be born, she came out calm, her head was just the right shape this time, and they took their responsibility seriously right away, easy, easy in the Westworld way. Swung her home from the unit through green grey fields, past cow shack campsite under heavy June rain. No sweat, no sway, we just did it all our own sweet self's way. We haven't had rain, we've had too much rain. Shelter, temporary shelter, impermeable to water, under layer on layer of polyester, polyurethane, neoprene, flame retardant, PVC, stretched out, stretch out fine for a night on my high-rise power plug airbed. Please leave the amenities clean and have a good time. Coming home from camping, after sweat-heavy early hours, night showering, stream in the morning, washing it all away, washing it all away. We haven't had rain, we've had too much rain. Cut off the motorway, try to stay calm. Think of the May, June elderflowers, plotting trees down season summer, curving round away from to home. Purple points, pink digitalis, oncoming, bumping over the peaks, light pasture, dark leaf, cream clustering, pollen, dust swirls the gutter. And recently I wrote my first piece of writing I've ever written inside, and about interiors. This is why I'm sort of worried about it. I've got pigeonholed for this radical pastoral. It's called A Place in England, I think, something like that, anyway, or House in England. It's about English country houses, really. And it's about the interiors of those houses, and the sort of history of those houses, the demarcation of space. This also was based on Bretton Hall, which some of you may know. Scott's already mentioned I used to work there, and I worked there for quite a long time. So it's based on that kind of way in which an English country house is used for so many things, including educational institutions at times. This text is sort of interspersed found texts and then lyric poems in between. So I'll read it straight through. I should read this for Robert. He also works in one of its great old houses that we've made into educational institutions. Okay. Parcel of land, hamlet, centre of excellence, dammed river, hostel, public art, nursery, bothy, hall, park, higher education corporation, burial ground, deer shelter, King's Manor, theatre, conservatory, college, accommodation, refectory, manor, extension, stable block, artificial lakes, public office, archive, avenue of trees, tutorial block, institution, office wing, training college, Metropolitan District Council, mansion, chapel, camellia house, estate, library, lake, property. Camellia House, 1817. Hazy blooms through outside, north stone face, south glass face, circuit, mildew misty panes, door creaks in, a certain temperature. Iron brackets elevate, almost unscented, glass space, paths through and under. Humidity, contains green shine, pink, white sweetmeats, soft falling thuds, a rest, a decay, flower towers for the lady, her exotics, never shatter their shrine, grafting and pruning. All we do now is feed them, keeping it all down to scale. Underneath, roots wide creep.